I gotta get.
Good morning, Golden Cave. Well, we're going to have Roberta Williams lead us in God Bless America, Pledge of Allegiance, and the Kiwanis Pledge. And the invocation will be given by Donna Dash. And turn it over to Roberta. Oh, and John's on the piano.
Dear Lord, I want to say thank you. Thank you for granting us this day, the beginning of Lent, symbolizing mortality, repentance, and spiritual revival. Please forgive our sins and calm our minds. You know our lives, our feelings, our thoughts, and our desires. You are the source of our hope and strength. With you, we can face anything. Thank you for sending and sacrificing your Son to give us everlasting life. In thy name we pray. Amen.
Good morning, Golden Cave. With us this morning, we have Mark Scranton with us. Mark is the Vice President of the Lincoln Square Theater, just a couple of blocks from here. Without asking him, Mark Gabriel and I came up with the title for his talk, The Lincoln Square Theater, a Decatur Treasure. I hope that's okay. I know it's a treasure because last October, I was with a group of 40 other Americans and Germans with the Decatur Sister Cities program who got a very thorough tour of the theater. Plus, they served us lunch. So, Mark, we look forward to hearing the story of the theater and also about upcoming events. In particular, I'm interested in hearing more about the Michael Jackson concert coming up this coming weekend, I think, and the Harriet concert that is on April 10th, which I already have tickets for. Please join me in welcoming Mark Scranton.
Thanks so much for inviting me to be here today. So, to kind of walk you guys back a little bit, John didn't tell me how much time I had to talk, so those that know me know that I'm a little bit shy about talking. So I've had a business in town here for 36 years. I just sold at the end of this this last year. So I've always been very, very involved in the community. And one of my passions I had was the Decatur celebration. And I started in 1986 when Fred Cooley rolled into town and started this Decatur celebration held by Community About as a volunteer. So over the years, I became chairman of different disciplines and eventually joined the board, and eventually was board president, chairman of the board of the celebration up until about 2 years before the celebration closed down. So that was something really near and dear to my heart. And it left a hole. I know you guys as an organization. And that was one of the things that I used to talk about when I go out and speak to groups about the Decatur celebration was the big thing that I saw the Decatur celebration do was it put $100,000 of money back into the pockets of nonprofit groups and organizations in Decatur, Macon County. So a lot of organizations, the Kiwanis, or Thomas, Boys and Girls Club, the Youth Hockey League, whatever, everybody relied on the celebration as a major significant source of income for them on an annual basis. And when that went away, it was tough. So fast forward a few years later, 2020, we got COVID and everything was shut down. In the midst of all this, rumors started about Lincoln Square Theater being knocked down. We had just lost the pump house, the state of the pump house, Salt Lake, Decatur, which I've got a personal connection to that as well. So that was tough hearing that. I'm really big into architecture. I love history. I love old buildings and things like that. So when they started talking about the possibility of the theater going under the wrecking ball, that was tough to hear. And so myself and Lavelle Hunt and a couple of other people got together. We started talking about what can we do? How bad is this building really in? And when we went in there and looked at it, we were shocked, I will say, at the condition of how quickly this had deteriorated in just a couple of years' time since the previous board had closed the doors on the theater. You can imagine no power, no heat, and time can do a lot of damage to an old building. So we went in there, there were literally, the ceiling as you walked in the front door was literally falling down on us from water that had been leaking through the roof. We went up on the stage and it literally was raining on us when we were standing on the stage. And I couldn't believe we're looking up above and it's just coming down. It wasn't even raining outside. It rained a couple days before, and if you know anything about roofing and stuff, it takes a while for water to migrate down through a roof deck. And it was raining on us, and we had one former board member that had access to the building still, allowed us to go in there and take a tour. And Lavelle and I went through the whole building top to bottom. We went up into the projection room, and I saw a site that I've been in some really nasty places. I've worked out at ADM and Staley's, a place like that, where you deal with some environment with animals and things like that. This place was filled full of pigeons. And if you know anything about pigeons, they're very, very toxic. This room was covered in pigeon poop. And we were like, what's going on? And there's a hole in the roof of the building. I'm like, how long has it been like that? And it said, well, it's been like that for a couple of years. And I'm like, nobody's done anything about this? So we just looked at the building. I called my buddy, Scott Landor, King Lars, said, hey, I need a 2 foot by 2 foot piece of metal bent over, and I need to come pick it up tomorrow. And we went and got it, came back a couple days later. We went there, put the cover on the roof ourselves. Didn't have nothing to do with the building at the time, but it was just like, it bothered us that much. So fast forward to a short time after that, after we'd gone through some conversations, and we had local attorney Britt Brown help us out a great deal on tracking down board members, because we had to form a new board and a new corporation, and we had to do a lot of things to obtain ownership of the building, because it was basically in limbo at the time. We had conversations with the city about what we felt we could do, and we felt it was a project worthwhile to try to save. Back in the early 2000s, Carla Brinkcotter was on the board and was a significant part of renovations back then, and they'd gotten a lot of grant money from the state of Illinois and some other places, donations from business and stuff, and they had started to redo the theater, and then unfortunately they ran out of funding. So the bones of the building were pretty good shape. All the mechanical stuff with the electric and HVAC at the time, we're talking like 2003, 2005, that period, so that's been several years ago, obviously. So a lot of mechanical stuff in the building had been redone. There was over $1 million just in electrical upgrades put in the building. So the bones of the building were there. So it had a lot of potential. So we took it over about mid-year 2020. We had a ribbon cutting ceremony to announce that we were doing it. We had a bunch of volunteers come in and help clean up the building and everything else. And I'll never forget, the mayor, Julie Moore, came in and she looked at the building and she said, only Mark would think about doing a project like this right in the middle of COVID. So that was, that was an interesting observation, that we're working on a project at a time where the future of everybody is questionable about what lies ahead for us. So we worked really hard for about 2 years, no shows going on in the theater, nothing, just making renovations. So one of the big things we did at first was we decided, what do we want to do with the theater? So we asked a lot of people in the community, what would you like to see us do with the theater? It's been there since 1916, it's over 100 years old, and it's always been a theater, whether it was for movies or back in its heyday. And I'll speak to you guys because you can probably relate. I'm sure many of you knew who Lyle Barrymore was, Bob Hope. These people came and performed at the Lincoln Square Theater in Decatur, Illinois. That was huge. And we got a really cool board down our wall now that's the history of the theater. It shows all the different performers that came over here. Jack Dempsey, boxer, performed there, show there, boxing thing. We had Blackstone Magician. Many people think Terry Houdini performed at the Lincoln Theater. He never did, but Blackstone Magician performed there. And the time that he was there happened to be when the building next door caught on fire. So really interesting how that got handled, because the theater at the time was full of people. And so he's doing his performance, and they came and told him to say, hey, we got a fire in the building next door, we gotta get these people out of here. And they were really worried because the theater was full, and they didn't want to create a panic or anything. So he says, for my next performance, I'm going to make this building disappear, and I want all of you to go outside and go across the street, and before your very eyes, I'm going to make this building disappear. They got everybody out of the building without any panic, without any injuries, and people got out and walked across the street, turned and looked, and there's the building next door burning down. So that's kind of an interesting thing. And there actually is a trap door on the stage that's still there today that was put into Blackstone for one of his tricks that he did. So there's a lot of really interesting history there at the theater. But we started working on the theater, and we talked to people, said, what would we do differently? And one of the things we looked at was, we want to make this a facility for the community that can be utilized for a lot of different things. So one of the first things we did was, we made the tough decision of taking all the seats off the floor and getting rid of them. And we had a lot of people came in, bought seats that wanted a piece of history of the theater they really didn't understand or weren't sure where our benches were at the time. We tried to educate people as well as we could along the way of what we were planning to do and try to create a vision of what our plans were. So we took the theater seats, we sold a lot of them, and then we had about 300 or 400 of them actually ended up going to California to what we learned later after the fact. I got the money from them. It went to HBO Studios for a series they were creating, Mr. Hale. It was a history of the LA Lakers. And they took these seats and used them to create an auditorium for that movie or that series. We didn't know what they were doing with them. I didn't know who these people were, but they shared with us later. And that was really cool to have that connection, that a piece of history of Decatur, Illinois is now part of a film in LA. So that was really unique. So once we got that done, we went in there, and with the great assistance of Jim Romano Company, we came in and had a plan on how we're going to redo the floor. So they came in and framed up the floor to make it level. So instead of just one continuous slope with seats, we've now got 4 11-foot deep sections that are on plateaus that are elevated about 1.5 feet above one level to the next. And by doing that, we created a really great environment that's conducive to hosting a lot of events. We've had events from the Chamber, the Community Foundation. Salvation Army has done a couple of their daily events there. So we've hosted a wide variety of events besides concert. By doing that, we can do all chairs, we can do standing room only, we can do tables and chairs, or a combination of both. And that has allowed us the opportunity to host a lot of different events that otherwise couldn't do. And so when they built the floor, we put down PEX tubing and then we poured concrete over top of it. So we have radiant heat in the floor to make it more energy efficient, because the utility bills in that building were over $10,000 a month. We're about half that now, which is still a lot of money. In today's world, that's a lot of money for what we're doing. But, so we took some steps to make the facility more efficient, make it more usable, but along the way, we wanted to be conscious of the history of the theater and restore it to its former glory. So we've had, I can't even tell you how many businesses, we got a list of them up there that came in, donated their time, products, their services. Servpro came in and cleaned the projector room out. And we just talked about that a couple weeks ago, because we had a little water leak, and they came and cleaned the water up for us. But when you see something like that, you're like, nobody's gonna touch this. They came in there, they hauled everything out of that projector room, they sanitized it and everything else, and they did it for free. We had top quality roofing come in and fix the roof on the lower lobby level in the marquee and do some other roof repairs that need to be done. So just on and on and on. I mean, we had Ingvar, Alltech Electric, like I said, Romano Company, just so many businesses from around the area that really got re-engaged in what was going on in the theater. So about 2 years later, we got to the point where we had most of the restoration work done, and then we got to where we started wanting to have some shows. So now we've been trying to integrate shows with repairs. We're still working on a few things, but the restoration of the theater and everything we wanted to do is pretty much done. We're working on redoing the mezzanine bar upstairs, which used to be Debbie Ford's old office upstairs. We cleaned all that out and turned that into a little bar. Our mezzanine level is now our VIP area. We put a bank with 2 bathrooms in the hallway there on the mezzanine level. There was a bathroom originally there, but it hadn't been used probably in 30 or 40 years. It was obsolete. So we were able to get our plumbing guys to come in and resurrect that, and then add another bathroom on at the same time. And then they put plumbing roughed in. So we're planning on going upstairs through a chase. Eventually, sometime this year, we'll have a bathroom in the balcony upstairs. We're trying to make this user-friendly to where people don't have to walk from the balcony all the way to the basement to use the bathroom, for example. And as we move forward with that, then we've got a bar area for the balcony on shows that are big enough that justify having a bar opened up there. So we're trying to make this where we eliminate some of the congestion in the building and things like that. But along the way, we completely repainted the place. Emmett Dotson, that has a painting company here in town, he has come in and single-handedly with a couple of his people pretty much repainted the whole inside of the building and redid the plaster that was damaged and things like that. But we've just done a lot of work for the place. President Lavelle Hunt is the guy that makes it happen with the entertainment. He books all these bands, he finds these people sometimes, he negotiates some really good deals to bring some really great entertainers to Decatur, and it's not easy to do. I know from watching Fred over the years, the celebration, the challenges of trying to book entertainment and get them at a price point that you can make it work, and the whole logistics of schedules and dates and things like that, it's really tough to do. And it's, believe it or not, it's getting easier, but it's still a challenge. I mean, there's weeks we do things and we're like, oh boy, there's gonna be something that's gonna come up. The weather's gonna cause a problem, or something breaks down or something. So, I mean, we're constantly, I mean, it's turned into almost a second full-time job for me and Lavelle, and now my brother, this last fall, joined our organization as well. He owns an Ellen Antique Mall. If any of you are familiar with Ellen Antique Mall, my brother bought that, it's been right about a year ago now. And he's like us. We got a love for old buildings and music and entertainment, things like that. So we got a really great network of volunteers, and that's one thing we're always looking across the cards today for Gloria, but we're always looking for volunteers to come help out with the show. I mean, the benefit is you get to see the show, which is always a plus. But I mean, there's times like we just did a Valentine's Day dinner with Dunn Pianos with Zach Garrett and his partner last week, Ivy Brothers. We did on Valentine's Day. And so we got half the tables and chairs put back up, but the rest of them we still got to finish because we got a show next weekend. So we have to integrate our personal time in with our volunteer time helping out the theater. So it's something you have to love doing, and we really enjoy doing it. And the community's been really great about responding back to us and saying, hey, thanks for saving the building, thanks for what you guys are doing. We always like to get feedback about things we can do differently or types of entertainment we'd like to see. We've had Christian artists in there, we've had a lot of rock bands in there. We've got Keith Anderson, who's a country artist that's coming up next month. So I mean, we try to have a wide variety of entertainment. We've had some speakers there. But we're always looking for ideas. We've had Sidewalk Prophets, which is a Christian group. They were here, this would have been their 3rd year. They do the Sidewalk Christmas concert that they do. So this last December was their 3rd year being in the theater, and they love it, and they usually sell it out. So we love having these different kinds of events. We've started to work on some comedy. We did a comedy show a while back with a gal called Trailer Trash Tammy. And man, she was hilarious. I mean, it was just, we had 1,100 people there. It was full. We didn't have a seat left in the house. We got a gal coming up real soon called Etta May, so the Bride Chicks coming up. As John said, we got, next weekend, we got Rebel in Red, which is a local area band up Peoria that's coming to play on Friday night, and Saturday night we got MJ The Illusions coming back, was there last year. And I'm telling you, this guy, he lives and breathes Michael Jackson. And he's been following Michael Jackson since he was a kid. And it's amazing, his performance. It's just not Michael singing. It's Michael performing. As you know, Michael Jackson was a showman. I mean, he put on great shows, not just as an artist that could sing, but as a performer. And he come in and did these things, and all that. I was just telling Jeff Taylor while we were talking about it. Last year he came out of intermission and he broke right into the song Thriller. And he had these girls, they're all decorated in costumes, and they got this whole background and everything. And they come out and do this song Thriller. And I mean, it was just amazing, the performances that some of these people do. We've had some really famous national artists there. A couple that come to my mind is had Ace Frehley, who recently passed away this last year, formerly from KISS, had been there a year before and performed there at the Lincoln. We had Krista Gale there, Lee Greenwood. I love Lee. We had a great conversation. The man's 81 years old, and he's still on the road performing. That's amazing how these guys do this as they get into the later years. But I mean, this has been their life, and they enjoy doing it. They don't need to do it. They obviously don't need the money anymore, but it's something they enjoy doing. So we've downstairs talking. I love chit-chat with these guys because Lavelle's wife does the hospitality at the theater, and I, just by nature, what I like to do, I cook most of the meals or help do part of the meals, so because I do a lot of barbecue and things like that. So I'm always downstairs talking with these guys. We were talking to Lee after the show, and we were just talking about, so what do you do when you're not on the road? You know, what do you do when you're under downtime, stuff like that? He's like, he says, I like to get the mower out and go mow the grass. I'm like, you're 81 years old, you've got a lot of money, and you're going out and mowing the grass. I like to go out and mow the grass. Gives me time to think. And I know I can relate to that, because when I go out and mow the grass, I solve the problems in the world when I'm on my mower. I mean, I think about a lot of different things. So I'm like, okay, I get what you're saying. Crystal Gale was great. We had her there. Jesse James, the band Jackal. We've had a lot of major national artists. We had Quiet Riot, who's a rock band for back in the 80s that was there a couple months ago. We just had, 3 weeks ago, we had a group called Noise Pollution. They're an AC/DC tribute band. They're one of the top AC/DC tribute bands in the country. So Lavelle does a really good job of finding people for entertainment to reach, you know, the audience in the area. And we've got people coming a long ways. As John said, we've got some shows I want to talk about real quick and wrap up. But so we got, as I said, Rebel and Red coming next week on Friday night. And that's part of our Spotlight series. That's a really, really exciting thing that Lavelle created this year. So we've got 13 different bands in Central Illinois that are competing for a $10,000 prize package at the end of the year. And the way he set this up is every band has to promote themselves and help sell tickets to come to their show. So the ones that sell the most tickets are are gonna be the ones that end up winning this money. They also get a sponsorship package for some advertising courtesy of Cromwell Radio. But we've got some great sponsors that got on board to help support that Spotlight series. We've got one of those every month, or 2 a month or something like that. So that's coming up. We got, like I said, next Saturday we got MJ the Illusion. March 5th is country star Keith Anderson. That's going to be a phenomenal concert. Broken Bros, we've had them there, I think, 3 times now. This will be the 4th time I think we've had them there. Traditional Irish Celtic music. The guy that's the leader of that band is a professor here in town. In fact, he directs the Decatur Youth Symphony Orchestra. My grandson's in that. So they play out at Milliken and some other places. He's in that band, so they play Irish music, and they got some girls, and they do dancing and things like that. And then I do a Irish stew or shepherd's pie, so we try to have some themed food for that. And that's always a really great time. And now March 14th, as I said, we got another comedian coming into the theater, Heather May, Southern Fried Chicks. You can look this gal up online. She's really hilarious. She's kind of along the same lines as Tammy, but she's a little bit cleaner, I'll say, in her presentation. And then March 27th, we've had to cancel these guys, postpone them twice, and God willing that everything goes okay, but we've got a group called The Power of Love coming to the theater, and this is a Huey Lewis band. And I've heard them, and they are absolutely amazing. I'm really excited about seeing them. And then we got a Morgan Wallen tribute coming at the end of March. Then we got 1st of April 8th, we've got Classic Seeger. This guy looks and sounds like Bob Seger. We had a gentleman last year that did George Strait, and I'm telling you what, I thought I was talking George Strait. Looked like him, he's from Texas, looked like it, sounded like him, and he loved a good brisket. April 10th, this is the one you were asking about, okay? Harriet, I'm telling you what, if there's a show that you guys don't want to miss this year at the Lincoln Theater, this is it. If you've ever liked Karen Carpenter, Carole King, some of those types of artists, this gal, when you listen to her sing, she's a big YouTube hit sensation. She's from the UK. She's never ever been to the United States. She's got, I don't know how many people follow her, but it's a massive crowd. When they announced she was going to do this US tour, the dates started selling out all over the place. Salt Lake City sold out 3 shows in 2 weeks. We're probably, I think what all told me the other day, I think we're like 500-600 tickets right now for her. And we're working on maybe trying to get a second show. If we get close to selling out, we might try to get her for a second show, but I don't think with her schedule that's going to happen anyway. She's traveling all over the United States right now. She's been putting videos up, talking about, hey, I'm coming to the Decatur, Illinois, Lincoln Theater. She's just going out and seeing the United States as a tourist. She's excited. She's always putting videos up that, you know, hey, today I went to Mount Rushmore and I went and did this. She's just excited to be in our country. But this gal is absolutely amazing. When you listen to her sing, I think she kind of looks like Karen Carpenter. She doesn't play the drums, but she kind of looks like Karen Carpenter. I'm telling you, when you close your eyes and you listen to her sing, you're listening to Karen Carpenter. And I was a big Carpenter fan growing up when I was younger. So that's going to be a that's a national act that we got coming. And then we got April 11th, we got Heartache Tonight, which is a Eagles tribute band. We've had them in the past 2 or 3 times. Phenomenal Eagles band. They're out of Chicago. They're great. And then, like I said, we host a lot of other events. I think this will be our 3rd year hosting for the Community Foundation. That's what she said. And that's a group of ladies from around the community that come and speak. And that's always been a big fundraiser for the Community Foundation, and that does really well. And then April 19th, we've got Twitty and Lynn coming back. We've enjoyed having these guys. This will be their 4th time being there. Some of these shows, you say, okay, you've had them once, don't bring them back again. But we keep people come and ask and say, bring these guys back. I love these people. They are the grandson of Conway Twitty and the granddaughter of Loretta Lynn. And when you listen to these guys, you're listening to your Conway Twitty and Loretta Lynn fan, you're getting to relive those days. And they got such a great show. They sing, and they've got Conway and Loretta on the screen in the background singing the same song the same time they're singing. And it's just the whole thing, it's just the timing of it. and it's just really, really good. But that's just a lot of the shows we got coming up. You can check us out on Facebook page, Friends of Lincoln Square Theater, or you can go to LincolnSquareTheater.com for our website. That's how we sell our tickets. We always tell people buy them through our website or our e-tix link on our Facebook page, because there are people scamming people out there, and I know the Devon's had their share of issues with people getting sold tickets from unlegitimate sources. Lavelle's phone number's on there. He handles the ticketing directly, so if you ever have a question about a show or how to get tickets, if you don't do the online thing, Lavelle can sit down and do ticket sales with you over the phone, and we can have the tickets available for you at will call and stuff. But I appreciate the time of me being able to come here and share a little bit of what we've been doing at the Lincoln Theater, and we're excited because we believe this place is worth saving, and now we've made it a part of the community. It's definitely a destination to downtown Decatur. Thanks.
Thank you, Mark. Mike, what is the capacity of the theater?
1,100 people. Yep.
And
That's it.
okay, so you, for Harriet, you have about 600. So
Yeah. As of like last week, I had about 600. Yeah.
So, who has a question?
I'm very dead about a lot of things, but there was a show at the Lincoln Theater at least 10 years ago. People lined up around the block to see it, and I can't remember. What was that movie?
I can remember Jaws was really big when it first premiered, but that's been longer than 10 years ago. We did the anniversary of Jaws this last year.
Everybody in town wanted to see that show. I know
30 or 40 years, I'm not sure. There've been a lot of good shows at the theater over the years. It just needed the right people involved with it.
I've been to several shows at the Lincoln, mostly rock and roll. My question is, why do they all think they're Spinal Tap and have to set it at 11? I'm out in the hall, out in the lobby, set my watch off at 122 decibels. That's a little much.
Yeah, and we've been working with that. We try to be cognizant of that because we do have, concerns with the age of the building, stuff like that, the louder music. We have our own sound guys that we use internally for a lot of the shows, but not all of them. And when these bands bring in their own people and their own sound stuff, they don't take real kindly to being told how to run their business. And Lavelle handles that pretty well. And sometimes we get a little cooperation, sometimes they just tell us to go pound sand. So unfortunately, that happens. So we have had some people that have brought that up before, and so we try to make adjustments for that as much as we can. And Lavelle's got it set to where it should never be over 100 decibels. That's our level where we like to have it at. But we also have earplugs available too for people that decide that's a little too loud. And it depends on where you're sitting at the building, because the building has great acoustics, and honestly, a lot of these bands can play without any kind of sound equipment at all. You can still hear really well. I remember a real quick story. So when we first had the theater reopened, and we were just kind of showing it off, our progress, things like that, we had this gentleman come in. He says, "Oh, I'm so-and-so, and I'm from St. Louis." He said, "I performed here back in the 70s. I was like, "Really?" So he tells stories like, "Yeah," he says, "I sing and things like that." He says, "I was involved in some shows and stuff." And so kind of had a self-guided tour, let people just walk around the building, look. And I'm in the lobby talking to somebody, and all of a sudden I hear this unbelievable sound coming from the theater. And it was like, oh, it's like, what the heck is that? Going there, this guy's up on the corner of the stage, and he's just letting it rip. Come to find out, he's an opera singer, and he performs regularly at the theaters down in St. Louis. And it just showed what the acoustics are like in that building. And it was just one man, one voice, no sound equipment, nothing. And it was amazing, but that's what that theater was designed for, because back in the day when it was built, it didn't have the sound equipment like we have nowadays. But anyway, that was really cool, I thought.
Maybe one more question.
I want to say thank you. Being an East Coast person, I grew up with old stuff. And when I came here to Decatur, they used to have tours where people could drive by and look at different styles of old houses. But I fell in love with the theater. I did some volunteering back when Carla was doing stuff there. And I heard about the acoustics were supposed to be perfect. I am so glad you've been renovating. It's wonderful, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And we got one more little teaser I'll give you. We acquired here, I don't know, it's been probably about 3 years ago, we acquired the old Oddfellows building, which was donated to the theater many years ago by a gentleman here in town. There's still a plaque in there on the wall. And then when the theater started struggling back in late, I don't know, 2015, somewhere around there, struggling financially, they unfortunately sold that building. And it was bought by a church that's over by the Avon, now, I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, Renaissance, yeah. So anyway, they had bought that building with intentions of renovating and turning it into a church, and that kind of fell through, and they ended up moving on to this other building. So we were able to negotiate a deal with them, and we were able to purchase that building. So it's sitting there now being used for storage, but we wanted to have it because it was next door to the theater. Originally, that's where the box office is at. So we've got plans between now and the end of the year, we're gonna start doing renovations over there, so we can put the box office back in there, and then eventually it'll be another event facility for pre-concert, post-concert events, and things like that. So we got some pretty ambitious plans to develop that next door, and be another nice place to go to in downtown Decatur, so another place that's boarded up. So we're kind of excited about that. That's our next step in our phase of projects for the theater. So anytime you guys want to come watch a show, I said I got some cards. If you're interested in volunteering or whatever, I'll be around and be glad to talk to you guys more. Thanks.
Thanks so much, Mark. What a thrilling asset we have here in Decatur. Mark, we have a certificate of appreciation for you and a coveted Golden Kiwanis Baldwin pen.
Oh, awesome. We will frame this and put this up in the theater.
Okay, thank you, Mark. We got a special moment. It's Kathy Seebach.
Good morning, everybody. At this time, I would like to present the Kiwanis of the month for the month of January. This person has done a lot of dedication and volunteer service to the Decatur Golden K. And through those activities, he's been involved in bicycles that were purchased and donated to WAND TV for the Spirit of Giving, helping at the Good Samaritan Inn and the Northeast Community Center, and also is involved with Memory Keepers. And at this time, I would like to present this award to Marty Williams. Very well deserved.
Well, good morning. Good morning. Couple of announcements first. I wanted to remind the people who are working with us on the survey committee that will meet following today's meeting, probably right up here at this table. Also, we're still looking for piano players, right? Correct. Okay. So, you don't have to be a Liberace, but if you can play the piano some, why we'd be interested in having you. Obseum. And I give you a little bit of a hint here that, don't break the answer.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. We thank you very much. Thank you.
I want to know who paid you. Well, I was going to give you a hint. We might as well put the answer back up now.
Oh, they didn't all see it.
Pardon?
I say they probably didn't all see it.
Oh, well. I was going to give you the hint that the ob should not be, don't think that it has anything to do with obstetrics, okay? And if you were thinking in that direction, to cross that one off. It's, okay. All right, here's the answer. An obese man of Latin heritage. How many of you took Latin in high school? Okay. So the ending of that word might have given you a little bit of a hint that it had to do with something male. And from Latin heritage, obseum, an obese man of Latin heritage. Probably not one of the most useful words. Yeah. All right. And thought we'd do a who is this Kiwanian today? This person's favorite restaurant is Coney McCain's. His favorite holiday is New Year's. His favorite food is lasagna. Something that drives this person crazy is people who don't stop at stop signs. His favorite place to visit is Cape Cod. Yep. Let's see, what haven't I shared yet? The most annoying habit is eating candy. Marty? Yep. Okay. Okay, Susan, you want to come up and take a prize here? Who had, Susan or Roberta? Roberta, okay. I couldn't see who it came. We're not spinning the wheel this morning. And the prize will definitely have to be out of the box. The other prize bag was empty this morning. We're not quite sure what happened. Okay, in terms of announcements, Dan? Okay, we're going to start with Linda. All right, Linda.
Today we have 44 members present, one Kiwanis guest, Doug Warren is here with us, early birds, and one speaker for a total of 46.
Okay, good. All right. Kathy, you have a health report?
I do. Jack McCoy, I spoke with him the other day, and he's waiting to hear back from his doctors. And he's going to be going up to Rush Hospital up near Chicago, and his next steps will be radiation for his lungs, and he also needs to see a cardiologist. So he's kind of got a lot of things going on, and he wanted me to share all this with you guys. And the reason why they decided to go to Chicago is because his daughter Kathy lives up there. And he's not shook up about any of this, and he was wanting to be sharing all this with you guys. But he has asked it for everyone to please keep him in your prayers, and I told him that we would do that. And there are cards over at the table, so I hope if you didn't get a chance to sign it, there's a card there for him as well as for Kathy Ferguson. And I saw her out last week. I didn't get a chance to talk with her because she was kind of a distance away, but there's a card for her as well. Also, please keep Marcia Urquhart in your thoughts and prayers. She's going to be going through a major surgery later in March, and she needs all of our prayers. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, birthdays and anniversaries, Kevin.
All right, birthdays and anniversaries from the 22nd to the 28th. We do have birthdays. First of all, on the 22nd, Donald Kim, he'll be 84. On the 23rd, Pat Durnell, he'll be 74. On the 24th, Woody Woodward, he'll be 72. And on the 26th, Logan Shoemaker. I got grandkids older than him. Let's sing. And we have an anniversary. On the 25th, Herb and Sharon Thompson. It will be 37 years. Let's sing. All right, quote from Bible. People who throw kisses are hopelessly lazy.
Okay. Dan?
Yes, this Saturday at 7 o'clock at St. Teresa, having the Key Club is going to be their Sadie Hawkins Day dance. If anybody wants to take any snacks or refreshments out there, you can drop them off at the office sometime Friday afternoon, or drop them off at the dance that night. Dance starts at 7 o'clock. And also tomorrow we're going to have a cap sorting day out at the school zoo if anybody wants to come out and sort caps.
All right. Linda?
I'm making this announcement for Charles Smith, who couldn't be here today. He wants to remind you of Mount Zion Key Club's annual baking contest. Many of us have gone to that before. It's going to be Sunday night, the 22nd, at Mount Zion High School. The fundraiser costs $5. It'll be in the cafeteria. It starts at 6 p.m. Music by the jazz band. And Charles wanted me to remind you that they have over 60 desserts. Bring your bibs, eat light dinner, and eat plenty of desserts. It's a lot of fun time, so go join them. Thank you.
All right. Susan Rahal.
Yes, good morning. First of all, yesterday we had our trauma doll work day. We had 12 volunteers. And to give you an idea with those dolls, somebody said, how many dolls have we made? We're working on 1,100. Wow. And they said, well, how many do you have at Don Kim said one time, "Is your whole house full of these boxes of dolls and food and everything?" And I said, "Well, don't ask Steve, but how many do I have at home? None." And yesterday we took 14 dolls by Webster Cantrell Hall for their program. And we get calls all the time, plus we also have people that we know use them. So $1,100 is a lot of dolls, and we got a lot of work done yesterday. I wanted to publicly thank Mary Jean and Cheryl Boss and Steve and Paula. They helped in preparing the food. We had a wonderful lunch, so if you didn't get to join us the next time. The second thing is Good Samaritan Inn is Tuesday, February 24th from 11 until 1 o'clock. So if you sign up, be sure to join us then. Then the next item is in March, we'll start a project where we're collecting items for Dove Domestic Violence and God's Shelter of Love, and I will give you some more information about that a little bit later on, but that'll be in March. Thank you very much.
Okay, Linda Thomas?
Yes, this is for Paul Lucanville, and it's about the Lids workshop tomorrow at the zoo, and it's at 9 to noon, and you can come early at 8:30 for early birds.
Okay. All right, I think we're up to Tom.
Okay, we're going to be working on the survey, the committee, after this meeting. So those of you who are on that committee, be sure to stay for a few minutes. We'll be doing that and then be getting back to the membership in a week or so, probably a couple weeks. Very interesting. I went over the survey the other day, and it's really a lot of informative stuff that you presented to us, so we thank you for that. I'm ready for the 50-50.
We had $96 in donations today, so 48 to admin, 48 to the pot, for a total of $311. So we will have a winner today. First number's 550. Next number, 443.
Oh boy.
Next number is 452.
That's me.
Okay. Oh boy. Gives everybody a shuffle those.
Be close to winning card. I have hearts.
Okay.
Next number's 305.
$305. John Judd is trying to find his ticket here.
Well, new number, man.
518.
Carolyn? Chances are getting better. Jack of Hearts comes out. Give me another number.
Oh, you must have by that one.
$311.
Okay, you get it down to one, I hope they choose me.
528.
Another number, please.
462.
Right, yeah. Yeah, boy. Bullet kid.
No.
499. Four, 6, 4.
Yeah. Oh, you got two of them, you got two chances.
John, you sure you put the coin in there?
Bullet.
Queen of Hearts.
Where we're going for lunch?
Okay, well, that 5 that I gave Mary Jean didn't amount to anything, I guess, you know. I thought I'd just probably read it a little bit. Didn't happen. Okay, happy Joe. Kevin, you gotta be happy.
Yes, this morning on Facebook, there was a wonderful article, I guess you call it, or a story, that was written by Joel.
It was by Ron Black.
/ Ron Black, and it told about the different projects that Project Success, that's an old time, that Golden Cade does, and also the different speakers. So if you haven't had a chance to look at it, it was really nice, and it was inviting people in the community to join our club, so take a look at it.
I want to thank everyone that helped with the Franklin Grove breakfast. It was Roberta and Marty, Melanie Caputo, of course myself, Linda Durnall, Joel Hawkinson, and Roberta and Marty Williams, and I'd like to put $5 in for that.
Hey, I got $1 from Mary Jean for drawing me, thank you very much. And $40 for the scholarship fund.
Wow, very good. Thank you, Kevin.
I have $1 for my award for January. It was a complete surprise. And another $1 for my Snicker bar.
I've got a couple dollars, just glad to be back, and thanks for all the good wishes while I missed a couple of weeks. Thank you again.
I've got a couple of dollars because I'm going to be able to go to my, to see my two great grandchildren that I haven't seen before. One of them's being blessed and the other has his birthday, so this weekend. So I'm very happy about that.
Super.
Me?
Yeah.
I've got some good news and some bad news about my birthday. Good news is I'm going to be around for a little while longer. Bad news is I'm going to be around for a little while.
And I have $5 for our guest speaker. Thanks for coming on.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, I think John's jumping at the bit here.
So these today are so bad I'm here in disguise. I let them all cap at the table there. These are bad dad jokes. So, but why did the tornado wake up the hurricane? It was too much of a whirlwind romance. Why did the turtle cross the road to get to the Shell station? Why did the girl toss a clock out the window? She wanted to see time fly. Why don't skeletons fight each other? They don't have the guts. Why did the duck say, what did the duck say after he went shopping? Put it on my bill. Start laughing. What happens when a strawberry gets run over? Wait, excuse me. What happens when a strawberry gets run over crossing the street? Traffic jam. I lost my job at the bank my first day. A woman asked me to check her balance, so I pushed her over. Why will the skull never win an argument? It doesn't have a leg to stand on. My wife gave me these jokes. Who won the neck decorating contest? It was a tie. What kind of underpants do lawyers wear? Briefs. Now, find them mercifully. What has 4 wheels and flies? Oh, you know that one. A garbage truck.
I wrote that one.
I'm out of here. Thank you for story, my right hand. Don't blame me. My wife gave me these jokes.
I hope your wife's waiting on you out there. Oh. Okay, well, thank you, John. Our next week's speaker is Clay Gerhard, and he's the executive director of the Decatur Park District. So I'm very interested in hearing what he has to say about the Park District. We are Golden K Kiwanis. We enjoy changing the world for the better by serving the children and others. And if nobody else has anything to say, we are adjourned.